Hello there, and welcome back to Chatty TV Junkie. I took a week off, so I am fresh and ready to go. There wasn't a whole lot of TV on right after the new year, but then a lot of stuff has come up, and there's a new podcast that I started listening to. So that is something I'm going to talk about. Also, before I start anything, if you have subscribed to this channel, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. And if you haven't, it's super easy. Just hit that subscribe button below, absolutely free. Hit that bell notification so you know when I upload, and give me the big old thumbs up. It's the trifecta of love here on YouTube. All right, first of all, I want to talk about breaking news that I saw, if they were actually calling it breaking news, on page 6 on Instagram, that Monica from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is not coming back. But are we really surprised? So they have not finished the complete finale yet. The last night is actually tonight. Today is Tuesday, January 23rd. So I will watch that tonight. In the meantime, though, I've also been watching a show that everybody has been talking about. And I started watching it because it has all reality people on it. It's called Traitors on Peacock. It's really good. If you like game shows, it's kind of a combination between The Challenge and Survivor and Big Brother, sort of, all wrapped up in one. And it's really good so far. I think I binge watched like 3 episodes last night. And so, yeah, that's what I watched last night. And I watched The Bachelor, which we will also talk about. First off, though, I want to talk about this. This is Rachel Goes Rogue. You can see my ring light. Sorry about that. But Rachel Goes Rogue. It is a podcast that she started a few weeks ago. She's on actually number 3, and I was trying to get an idea of where she was going with it before I really wanted to comment on it. I will say the thing for me that's a little weird is that normally when you listen to someone's podcast, it is the person either talking by themselves, like Stassi has done it a few times by herself, Taylor Strecker has done it a little bit by herself, and a lot of times they'll have guests on. And they will interview their guests. Well, for the first 2 episodes, the producer of the podcast interviewed her, which was a little weird. Like, they kind of kept her on the path. Like, she would go off and they bring her back in and ask her questions. Everyone wants to know the juicy details of what happened with her and Tom Sandoval for, the big scandal that happened last season, where, if you are not familiar, Raquel is what she called herself. Her real name is Rachel. She's going by Rachel now. She originally was going out with James, had a breakup, was working her way through that, was a little jealous of the new girl. He kept flaunting it in her face. She was really good friends with Tom, and she was going through the pageant circuit, and he was really supporting her, and she was friends with Ariana, his girlfriend. Well, somewhere down the line, her and Tom started to have an affair, and they made it look like it was Tom, the other Tom Schwartz, when it really wasn't. And she describes a little bit of it, admits to it, said she realized after the fact that it was a bad idea, and she did not want to go back to the show for the season that's about to air a week from tonight. And she said it was due to her mental health. She did check herself into a mental health facility. I believe it was in Arizona, where she is learning how to, deal with her different emotions, why she always picks the bad relationships, because her relationship with James, he's an alcoholic, and he was yelling, screaming at her. And so she also had to, learn about what it was like to be a codependent and, all that, and then going straight into this next relationship. So the one thing that she did say on today's podcast is that she is not dating for an entire year so she can get herself back together again, which is a great idea. It really is. The only thing about today's podcast, though, that I was a little disappointed in is she had on a guest, and the guest sort of was asking her questions too. So she didn't really take full charge of the podcast. But apparently what happened from the first and the second podcast is people were mentioning that when she's talking about something that's serious, she tends to laugh and smile. Now, I did not watch the video aspect of it. I didn't even know where to find it. I've just been listening to the audio, and people commented about that. So the specialist that she had on today was saying, a lot of people, when they're nervous or anxious, it's a response they do. It's inappropriate, but a lot of times that's what happens. And so it was very interesting, don't get me wrong, but it was not what I was expecting. I was expecting more details of what happened. I'm wondering if she's saving that when the show starts next week, so it could be what happens there, responding to what they're talking about, because they're going to talk about her, you would think, in this next coming season of Vanderpump Rules. Now, I believe it was episode 2, they talked about the dog. So if you have not heard, Lisa Vanderpump ended up with the dog at her facility. It's a cute little golden doodle, and apparently the doodle bit her mom. And it was a dog that she got when she was graduating high school or college. So it was never her and James's dog together. It was always her dog. So when she was at the facility, her mom took the dog, and the dog had behavioral issues that had not been fixed or dealt with, and the dog bit her. So the mom was like, that's it. I can't do this. I can't have this dog in the house anymore. So she gave it to a shelter, a non-kill shelter. That shelter recognized the chip or something on the dog, called Lisa Vanderpump, and got hold of her rescue. Vanderpump said, you know what, I'll rescue the dog. He'll have a great life on my farm or, Villa Rosa. And then allegedly she tried to get Rachel, to come back on the show and deal with the whole dog issue. And she's like, no, I'm not going back. So that's what happened. And she decided not to go back to the show. So it's been interesting. I like to see where it goes once Vanderpump Rules starts up in a week, and see how she responds to everything. If you want to take a listen. If not, I just told you pretty much everything that happened. So that's that. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is last night's Bachelor with Joey, the new Bachelor. He had, I believe, 30 women to choose from. They eliminated like 10 of them last night. And you kind of had an idea of which ones weren't going to last. I'm pulling up one of the pictures I want to show you. One of the girls' entrance, it was one of those entrances where you're like, oh no, why did you just do that? She got sent home. She had bananas on all different sizes that she had made into different sizes on a platter and said, hey, which size do you like? It was like, oh, no, not a good entrance. And he didn't have any chemistry with her. I don't even know if he talked to her. If he did, they didn't show it. But we already have a villain. Yes, we do, people. We have a villain already. This is Jess. Jess is 24 years old, and she's already the villain. She got the first kiss of the night. He gave her a really nice kiss, and that was it. She was like, I need a kiss. Where is he? So she interrupted one of the girls that was getting her very first chat with him, and she's like, you already had your chance. And she's like, oh, can I grab him for you, please? And she's like, can I have one more minute? She goes, yeah, 1 more minute. And then she sits off to the side, making it really uncomfortable. So yeah, she's already definitely getting looks from the other women. The other thing that's weird is I'm scrolling back to one of them. I believe this is one of the girls. I believe it's her. If not, it's another girl with dark hair. There's a pair of sisters on there, and they are both staying. Now, whether or not he really likes both sisters, I don't know. We all know that the producers sort of try to create drama, even if there isn't. So what better way to create drama than with these two sisters? And one of the sisters that got picked first, the second sister, I think it was the older sister standing in front of her, turned around and said something really nasty to her sister about getting picked first. So he did end up picking her very, very last. So, the build up and the drama and things like that. And it was okay. I mean, the girl that he gave, I'm looking for the girl that he gave I believe this is her. Oh yeah, I was right. So Allison was the one sister, and this is the other sister, and her name is Lauren. So they're from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay, so do you guys remember Leia? She was the one that appeared on the final rose and was given an envelope that night and told that she wouldn't open the envelope until the night that she was on The Bachelor. Well, she did open the envelope. And what it said was that at any time before the final four that she could take away a one-on-one date from one of the other girls. And she was super duper upset about it. She opened it on her own and she was like, oh my God, this is horrible. If I do it, it's going to make me look like a jerk. But on the other hand, I could get more time with him. And she was just all up in arms about it. And so she went to Joey and she showed it to him. And she's like, this is horrible. I mean, of course I want extra time with you, but to do that to one of the other girls, I would just feel absolutely horrible about it. And he's like, that really shows your judge of character. And he liked that about her. And so then she went and told all the girls. She said, I'm going to tell you what was in this envelope. And she told all of them. She goes, you know what? I'm not going to use it. And she tossed it into the fire. And that girl, the villain I just told you about, she's like, well, I would have taken it. So he, meaning Joey, he went and got the first impression rose and went back and gave it to Leia. He said, I was very impressed on what you did and you deserve this first impression rose. So I really like her. I really do. I am not watching ahead. I know you can go to Reality Steve, and that's why I stopped listening to his podcast while this is airing, because I don't want to know what happens ahead of time, because it's more fun. Like the last time with Golden Bachelor, I was so wrong. I thought, I know he's picking, and I was not right. So I'm not going to look ahead on this one either. But so right now we do have a villain. We have a first impression rose, and we have a pair of sisters, which is really strange. So that is today's show. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when I upload, and leave your comments below. I love reading them. Tonight, I am going to go watch more of The Traitors, and I'm going to catch the final reunion of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And then next week at the same time on Tuesday, Vanderpump Rules starts, and I definitely will be covering that. And I think I'm going to continue to cover Rachel Leviss's new podcast called Rachel Goes Rogue. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.